Hello, everyone. My name is Portia Carter, and today I'll be presenting on e learning. First, we'll look at what e learning is, how it's used in companies, some of its best practices. We'll also discuss what the pros and cons are, as well as how it's used in the real world. Let's dive into it. So, what is e learning? E learning is defined as a method of delivering training and education using digital platforms. These platforms can include things like videos, modules, or quizzes. The platforms can also be instructor led or self paced. I personally prefer a blend of both. That way, it offers flexibility to the learner and to the company. Let's talk about how e learning is used in the workplace. Companies use e learning in several areas, such as onboarding new hires, compliance training, performance support, as well as upskilling and reskilling. Now let's talk about what the best practices are for effective use of e-learning. For effective use of e-learning, it's important to set smart goals as well as use interactive elements like implementing quizzes or polls. It's also important to design training that is mobile friendly and adaptable for different learners. Now that we've talked about how e learning is used and some best practices, I'll love to hear from you. Let's take a quick poll just to see how you connect with e learning personally. So, the question that I want to ask is what type of e learning format helps you learn best? Is it interactive modules, short videos, reading based lessons, or live virtual classes? I'll give you a couple moments to answer that question. All right, moving along. Just like anything, there are advantages and disadvantages to e learning. Some of the advantages include it being cost efficient, self paced, so you can learn on your own time, whether that be on your lunch break, nights, weekends, however you want to pace yourself. It's consistent. So once the material is developed, it stays the same. You don't have to worry about it changing. Now let's talk about some of the disadvantages. E-learning does or it may lack human connection or human interaction. Um, some people learn better when they're face to face with their instructor. So this can definitely be a disadvantage. It does require discipline, so you do have to manage your time very well. Another disadvantage is tech barriers. By tech barriers, I mean like if you have unstable internet connections, if you may have some hardware limitations, all those things can disrupt online learning. A good e learning program will give balance of flexibility and engagement as well as support. All right, let's dive into some real world examples of e learning in the workplace. In 2023, there was a construction company called Lang O'Rourke, and they decided to use TikTok and Instagram for training. When they implemented using social media into their training, their monthly user engagement jumped from just 80 employees engaging to over 700, and they only had to use 10% of their training budget each month. So they were able to successfully use e learning for training. Amazon is another company. Amazon implemented a learning management system to help with their onboarding process. Their new hires were able to use training modules, quizzes, and videos in training. It also kept up with their progress so that they can see where they are. They can also see what they scored on those quizzes. And there were a lot of resources available to them to help them in the training process. All right. And another real world example, which is one of my favorites, is Canvas. Athens State adopted Canvas into their learning management system the fall of 2023. They used to use Blackboard. By switching to Canvas, it was able to streamline mobile friendly experience for faculty and students. There are a lot of built-in tools in Canvas for assignments, discussions, exams, grades. I especially like that you can go into your grades and you can calculate, what you think your grade may be or where your grade needs to be. Um, and it'll give you an idea of where you are as far as your grades are concerned. And I think that's a pretty neat feature to use. So we've seen companies like Amazon use e-learning, and we've learned what made it successful. But each learner experience is different. To better understand how strategies resonate with you, let's take a moment to answer this question. What is the biggest challenge you face with e-learning at work? Is it staying engaged, finding time, tech issues, or lack of personal interaction? I'll give you guys a couple moments to answer that question. Okay, I'm going to move on to the conclusion and final thoughts. As we just explored, e learning isn't just a trend. It definitely plays a key role in breaking down barriers to education by making learning more flexible and accessible. In many ways, e learning is helping bridge educational gaps, especially for remote teams in regions that are under resourced. E learning doesn't require that the learner adjust to the classroom, it brings the classroom to them. It adapts to your time, your pace, and your goals. I feel with technology constantly improving, e learning will only become more integrated into how we work and learn. Thank you for your time and attention today. I hope this has helped you better understand the value and the role of e learning in the workplace. If you want to explore some of the resources that I use, I've listed them here on this slide. Thank you.